Decides to back out.
Very early BKB.
Very early BKB. Very
Tiny sports. Oh my god. Did you see it?
Yeah, Tiny caught by the Spirit
Break.
They're like hiding in the trees from an axe that is everywhere. This cow, non-stop charging. Poor Johnny, again and again. Johnny finishes that game with 19 deaths. Let's have a look how many times the Spirit Breaker was involved in Dunk, and now his Dunk is on cooldown, and Reverie is sort of a little bit hungry. Johnny's coming with a swap, and can they find someone? The Glimmer Cape comes out of the axe, so they don't quite spot him. Wave of Terror.
Till this part, it is literally an 8-pick in Ridya Masters, and it could even be an 8-pick in Oz as well. But they're just not favoring picking it too early and having too bad.
It's one of the strongest pos ones we've seen.
Definitely.
Is it going to be enough to deal with the Morphling?
I don't know. So on paper, right?
Or in their way back into it.
There's still 20k in the hole, but it's possible, you know? They scout out the vision using the Zeus, so like...
Oh, charge through into Johnny.
Now that I think about it. But they haven't actually decided what hero is going in what position. This could be a tiny one here. This could still be a wind one. Gooby is on the snap. Okay, it's the +5 tiny. Okay.
Well, get together and making this game far more interesting, so...
So they have... Oh, wow. If you read the alt chat, Reverie with his 1 beer in has inhibit...
Since I've seen anything like that. Let's go!
A charge onto Johnny top. Cal just might be a little bit short on the damage. Is really well, and that's how he's going to try and shine, right?
Okay.
Again, I've never seen much of like the Raccoon Spirit Breaker here, but it's going to be really, really rough to enable. It's not working.
And of course, Axe Dagon, right? Axe Dagon deals with those major illusions.
Yeah, Dagon one-shots all illusions, no matter what, and.
I played into Rev quite a bit, and I've played both his Naga and his Troll, and they are spooky heroes when they are in his hands. So I get it.
Do is they'll lock it in with their last pick, and they'll obviously ban out all the cheese. So Huskar's already out of the pool. Slaughter Gang are taking away all the tempo, so there goes Storm Spirit.
So you're going to get stunned in your Sandstorm, you know? Is it going to outrank? Hang on, hold on, they've got Johnny again, and he's been Spirit Breaker ult back onto the high ground. He gets the swap to try and get away. Hunter's here with the Shiva. A little bit better. But we're starting to see some big items come out on the Radiant supports as well. Raccoon is getting real close to his Shadow Blade. He's about 200 gold to this Mars with this facet, and it feels impossible as a save support. And we've got an IO game on our hands, so I really expect that to have some impact this game.
I feel like, you're not going to see many IO saves. Like sometimes you see it on Sand King, sometimes you see it on Venge. They can get up there into the 600s, into the 650s, really early as well. Even Ursa now. This guy's at almost 800.
Oh, Tombstone goes down, and I think
2k advantage, and whenever Radiant are winning, they're only getting 1 or 2k, and they're not getting any objectives out of it. They're not getting much map.
There's also a 7k XP swing.
As if he's got the enrage buffer up when he gets hit, and that's only 2.5 seconds, but that's 2.5 seconds you're not moving, you're not able to use your attack speed buff. You can't, it's insane. Or mid laner are they going to choose to prioritize here, and then just see how... Because obviously Slaughter Gang is going to take the last pick for Huncho again, and give him the best matchup possible.
Free, right?
Yes, with Soul Strike. He's done the wand opening and all branches to maximize his damage as quickly as possible. I will comment, the Troll getting a full ulti off because Scythe was on cooldown for 10 seconds. They just didn't have the way to 100-0 him.
George on Sand King, Prey on Tiny, Johnny on Vengeful Spirit, RFA on Shadow Demon, and Reverie on Morphling. Now Johnny on Vengeful Spirit makes Vengeful Spirit a reload, going out of mid? Oh, just bring a Tiny for the farm. Okay.
Just a ferry service, I guess. Move him around. So
hey,
the
Battle Fury
doesn't... Oh, sorry, yeah?
Yeah, Battle Fury up on...
Yeah, it's just...
Troll has his 6, and Gubala is a little bit far forward. The power shot misses, but the Troll is still on top of Gubala. They bring all the boys once again. The stun comes out. Shackle to try and keep that Troll off of him, but it doesn't really He is out when Shing running, but the vessel is on top of him. Cold snap, but Mars is coming, and guys, you need to be careful because a big Mars ult can appear at any second. There it is. Good God. It is in. Johnny is out. Gachi knows he has to deal with that Shadow Demon and is diving him as hard and fast as he can. Disruption to try and save himself for a second. That BKB is running out, Gachi, and you are deep once again. Tiny.
Most people say this matchup is Morphling favored. I think on paper it is strictly a 50-50, and it depends on how the fights start and how the rest of the team interacts with each other. So because this is some good Dota, hey. This is what I was hoping for from one of these games.
This is what you were telling me was going to happen. After the first game, I was
through just because it was the most impactful hero on Radiant last game by far.
Well, they just beat it. Are they confident enough to let it slip through? Wait! All over this map, Morphling goes down to the axe.
What the? All of
wow!
And they're going on to the Tiny.
Tiny
bottom, they're just
out of his pot keeps him alive from that venge wave
That
of
is
terror.
an expensive salve. It only did like the first 1 second of value, but it was the only second he needed. That's a very expensive movement.
Exactly.
The Shadow Demon does.
On top of that, that crab can go nowhere. It is absolutely gone. Oh, the Shadow Demon gets out just in time there. They drop the lightning bolt. Meanwhile,
Tiny not so lucky. What is going on?
Bottom, Tiny gets killed. They're chasing, and the Morphling gets the kill, and that is a holy shit. That is a lot of gold that goes away the Morphling, and you don't want to be feeding the
That's
Morphling.
That's another 1800. That's
magnetize. A stun had come out from a support to keep me in position, and then that Dagon burst was enough to just keep me alive, keep me in the fight. Especially now he's lost his strength scaling.
I reckon they might take out the last. They might take out Void Spirit. Oh no, Faceless Void.
Faceless Void.
I was completely wrong with that. I was thinking maybe they want to.
They're looking.
Morphling took Ebb, which means his primary stat is agility.
Nice. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, was this?
The smoke got broken. Yeah, Tiny broke the smoke. From Reverie.
The
Reverie has not switched to strength. She's taking so much damage, and that is a big spooky bear. The stun comes out, and they are gonna let him live for now. Swap?
It's a clown
no.
fest.
Swap's
no
on
swap,
cooldown.
5 second cooldown. I never know what's gonna happen. He could just randomly get caught out 2 or 3 times here and destabilize the entire game.
Well, that's just Morphling players, right? Sometimes you feed, even the best players in the world. He donks to that axis, he just sends Dire straight back to their fountain. They need to be careful now. We got buybacks out on the Morphling. Morphling doing what he can to keep his team in the game. The Crab is alive for now, but the Crab needs to get out of there as fast as he can, but the Bear is just on top of him. Axis! Garbage hero in the patch. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not seeing it anywhere on Dota Pro Tracker, and yet it's in all the games that I'm casting. Why? Why does this hero keep getting picked up?
It depends on... First of all, you need a Rubik. They really put a...
So this is fantastic. If someone dies close to him, he gets an illusion of the hero that has died close. So it can be enough to give you the damage that you need in a fight, but usually
doesn't have to worry about it too much.
Bottles filled once again.
Yeah, it's just rushed a vessel. And this 1k gold lead, you have to note, is in regards, like, the bottom lane has a
Axe does have a blink dagger, and the charge is going to connect. Does Axe elect to blink?
He's clipped the Morphling! He's dead!
He dunks the Morphling again! This Morphling strikes me as the time in the game that the Necro might need to start getting involved, because I'm worried. I know that it needs the farm to sort of start to have an impact. Not respecting this Io guy. That's what I'm seeing, right? This is the power of Io. This is why it's one of my favorite heroes. People think that this hero is boring. I get told all the time Io's boring to play. I don't.
Hello.
There he is, and if you guys can let me know if his mic is too loud, too quiet, whatever it might be along the way, I will adjust it on the fly. Why, Glint, you reached out to me and said, hey, there's no way you're casting the axe, snatched it up, and it looks like the axe secures the wisdom rune. I think they're having some fun, I think they're feeling themselves in this game, so good to see that even in a comp setting, these boys can still come to these fights, get these absolutely stellar Mars ults off. The amount of times I screamed, oh my god, another phenomenal Mars ult in that game, as he just gets in. Ame, Yatoro. Sometimes you sometimes you're just caught out, and that's the end of that. Also, no respect for the Morphling. He doesn't have the sweet sharks.
Sucks, but he has his mech. He's already going to do everything he's going to do for like the next 10 minutes. You know, like he can get a holy lock on top of this maybe.
You know, I quite like. Back into the tower. She gets the scatter shot off so that she can sort of slip away there, but she still is very low, and Rubik has a fair bit of right-click damage. Down goes Gubala to the Rubiks. Here, no, the bear has an enormous amount of damage. Save comes out from our Shadow Demon. Is it enough for him to get to the high ground? It is, and that is why Shadow Demon is the best hero in Dota. Not enough, though, because Sunstrike, and all of a sudden the troll goes down and the snap lives. Hey, Radiant are making this funky draft work, huh?
Yeah, that's another 1,000 goals. Like
Dota, dude, what an absolutely phenomenal game of Dota, and what a phenomenal co-caster you've been for me as well, White Glint. Huge, big Dota brain in that head of yours, hey?
Thank you for having.
Elite Slayer 60, 60, 60. You know, like I want really, really creative names. Oh, okay, let me talk. This is the strongest support in all of Dota. Ursa lurking on the side. In comes Axe with a phenomenal call. Down goes the SD and down goes the Tiny immediately. Hancho gets a start off in return and doesn't have time to get his ult off. The Morphling doing what he can to put some damage on, but he...
Mars response probably for Johnny Sins.
So these guys have done their research on each other then. What I saw then was an Io pick. Obviously, Io, one of my favorite heroes, one of the best heroes in the game. Even the Dire draft seems like the easier draft to execute. But
100%.
I've been proven wrong before. I'm sure you remember the Venomancer from last night. So let's see what they... Let's see.
Fast.
Oh, Reload comes in. Invoker in a bit of trouble. And out comes that Necro ult.
Punchstock is down. He got him. Again, he's getting caught out. Oh, no.
And hope that my +1 carries me late game. So
Puncher George does seem to open with... I'm not actually sure why he took the Sandstorm invisibility facet and not the one, because it just makes some spells absolutely busted. Like, imagine having a toss that does its damage and like a 700 AoE, and then Rubik just has that for some reason.
I had a player in my stack today telling me about a Rubik that had, I think he said rot. That is a spicy little start. Gachi, stun comes out onto him. He needs to be a little bit careful, but Wing Xing is here now on that Undying, and it's in his name. He'll make sure Gachi. So are you captain for your team before I go any further?
Yes.
Yeah. So put me in the mindset of a captain in Upper Division Oz. We've got all of these teams here, and I'm not going to make you rank them because that's rude.
10 facets during a game, and then having to track which one they actually took. It just gets so messy so quickly. And here we do. We have the Gubala Snapfire. And the instant...
And it's having a pretty good game. We haven't really felt Necro's impact in this early game, and I didn't really expect to see Necro have much impact. Especially for position 1, right? He just wants to farm, go behind. But he's been... How many deaths has he had so far? Is it 4? 4 deaths? Yeah.
Yeah,
so
4 deaths. I think they're all to acts. I don't think he's done anything fight once. Okay.
Really? So much damage. It's unbelievable. Crash landing.
I'll go back and check. He was on exactly half health, getting stalked by Tiny, and then just gets murdered.
Try and get some damage onto you as well. Missed the axe call because of the swap. Beautiful play there from Johnny, and down goes the cow. Okay, they're in action. If they eliminate this cow, they might actually be able to play this fight. Vengeful is running, but the Shadow Demon goes down to the Dagon and the dunk.
At the start of the game.
Also, just shout out to my chat. It is pronounced Lalul. There's two L's, okay? So it's
I thought it was
Lalul.
Laurel. I
No,
wasn't. I
it
wasn't
is
sure if I was
Lal.
thinking the right.
Get that charge, but Huncho caught out of position, and he's scouted immediately by the bolt. Tiny goes in with the toss, but that's not going to be enough damage to deal with Winching, and now the Tiny is dead as well! Oh my lord.
Where it follows you around, because
I can answer that
I
one.
would've-
For once, I can answer that one because in the pro scene, they're deciding to they just value the invisibility more. And once you've got the blood,
it's not in the arena. It's gonna be really hard for him to get anything done. And the you have to notice. I don't think the spirits actually give much vision anymore. I know they only give vision when they explode, and I don't think it's a. Unfortunately, Winching just gets caught out. It's just they're not respecting the global presence of the IO, and I feel like they're not respecting the global presence of the Spirit Breaker nearly enough. You need to pick a flexible carry that doesn't have many matchup like losses. So in that position, you could pick like an Ursa, you could pick a Juggernaut, you could pick
What's
a
wrong
Gyro,
with me? Why
and
can't
then
I
get
see?
double. Raccoon is a massive like troll in pubs, and he'll just like drop a Broodmother randomly. There's the RFA Rubik respect bans as expected. I do think they will ban IO here. I don't see them letting.
For a second and grabbed midair. They do have that big scary Undying on top of them. It looks like Reveille's deciding to deal with the Tombstone as quickly as he can. He doesn't want that in his fight, and down. That toss
Already,
damage is bonkers. Wow.
Yeah, that was half Invoker's health. That was 3 creeps killed. That's insane. Absolutely insane.
Looks like Tiny's now heading top to grab himself that boundary. Top of that Morphling. There is the save we were talking about, though. Is it enough to keep this Morphling alive? The swap gets him away. You mentioned that earlier, that Benji would be there to swap afterwards. And now they may just lose Johnny instead of...
That guy's not squishy by any means.
None of these, none of the Universal heroes are squishy. God, and it's the worst, dude.
Charge on top. This could be a breakout
fight. This troll. He's gonna bump into Snap if she's not careful. No, yeah, Battle Fury on troll. He's got his Blade of Alacrity. How do you like these timings? Do you think he's having an alright? Morphling's just going to try and port out here. No, cancels his port, but that might be a mistake, Reverie, because there are 4 Radiant heroes here and they are looking for you. He does have 4,200 HP and is outside his tier 3 though, so he might just live here. Matter controls Whirling Axis, and Kabbalah is gone. Doesn't even need to pop
not
the
getting
ult.
To the start he wanted this game. He definitely wanted to be doing a bit better than where he is now.
3 heroes. Is it Slaughter Gang that you're more familiar with, or do you know both the stacks quite well?
I know both stacks quite well, and the next game is just going up, I think.
Already,
I don't know. Faye with the Rubik is the most synonymous combo. The man has like 30,000 matches and like 3,000 on Rubik. So I definitely see that. And nothing. So he's not out of it yet, you know. He will still be one to watch. Once he gets his 6, and once he makes like maybe a power rune rotation if he's lucky. 900 during a big fight. The Aghanim's aura also gets really bigger, so Heartstop aura's only got like an 840 radius, and that just builds up to
Huncho's going in, but he's caught immediately underneath that axe from the Zeus, but they do get the toss onto the Zeus, but not the toss back. Okay, so he's just going to slip away.
He took so much damage.
Oh, did I just see a Moon Cow charge again? I did see a Witch. There's a charge onto Johnny, and Johnny is not going to see that cow coming through the trees. He's punching him. He does have the ult, so he sends him back to his team. And is his team going to get there in time? Yeah, of course they are. It's Zeus. Zeus doesn't even need to be.
You were 100% going to get, but because he opted not to go the Blink Dagger, he just doesn't. And it doesn't impact Gooby at all. Wowee.
Now the charge out on Johnny. Morphling's porting in.
Oh my.
They don't have vision of the axe yet, but if he's not careful, they're about to. Reverie looking. The Sand King's coming up on Young Harold as well. You got 20 coming up on Axe. Meanwhile, this poor Morphling is 15, and the rest of his team are even lower than that. So when there's that diadem too, it felt like they were on the back foot the entire game. And we saw how good these players can play. We saw how strong they were in the first game. Slaughter Gang absolutely killed it, and yet all of a sudden.
just be because of what the players play here. Like, obviously, you don't see a lot of Axe at Riyadh, but you see a lot of the Willow and the Hoodwink that kind of prevents it, and the Underlord, where like fine because he has an Axe. 2-7 Tiny.
But
Hunter's the only one having like a
more than
reasonable
that,
game.
it's this XP differential. You've got 18 coming out on Gachi, 18 Ember leads into.
That Ember is for Winching. I 100% guarantee you they did not want Winching to be playing Ember, because I have not seen him play anything else in the last 3 months.
Okay.
These are big kills. They're feeding like massive streaks. They really need to get serious on the Australian rejects and finish this match.
Oh, Gachi.
Oh, he's on
Jumping on
Morphling?
top of Morphling. Morphling's just going to waveform away.
That from the Tormentor?
Charge
Yes, they did.
in on the Sand King.
They have another save.
Looks like he just decides to speed away, but the smoke comes out and it's not caught on any vision, so if they find someone here, man's just trying to sink some beers and have a good night, and you're coming in here and just harshing his vibe in the biggest way possible. Report Gabala, ruining my vibes, dude. This Void alive, or brings him to the fight when he needs it, so I like it. I like the Faceless Void ban, but I am more interested to see what the pick is going to be here, because both of these drafts look good, but
Be more patient with these disruptions. He's just getting slightly the wrong hero.
I think also, as a Shadow Demon player, I can tell you that all too often you want to use that disruption offense.
Continue to play. If the Sand King ever gets to Ags, he has Shivas already. Yeah, they're going to have so much trouble playing into it. They only have one BKB across their entire team. Obviously, Zeus is never going to buy it, but they need more players to be able to go.
Gabala on the edge there, trying to deal with the Vengeful Spirit.
Reverie escapes in the back
Oh,
line.
looks like Raccoon is going to charge in, and all of a sudden that Vengeful Spirit might be in a little bit of trouble and is dead. Run, Johnny. There's still a full team running. Axe wants the dunk.
They got him.
Oh
No, he
my
doesn't.
god! Rampage to that Axe. Oh my god, that's Rue's doing everything he can to get up into its fountain,
my
and
God.
it is not going to make it. Like Slaughter Gang did, or are you going to come up with another wild pick that's a little bit unpredictable, a little bit spicy?
So I think both teams are going to mix up the drafting here.
Ooh, that Mars might be in trouble if he stays just a little bit longer. Scattershot comes out from the Rubik to get the slow off, and they have to choose a target now. If you chase two rabbits, you won't catch either. That Rubik is leaving!
God, did you just see the level 2 little shredder?
Oh, I did not, but looks like Reverie needs to run out there, run out of there as fast as he can. I saw little IO positioning himself. What I did see though was Tiny. Raccoon is diving, and down goes Tiny as well. That's a 5-man wipe. It's a 5-man wipe.
The entire team is gone. They're all gone. What the hell?
As Prey took the Watcher back, and he's just sort of hiding in position.
Yeah,
it looks like they want to deal with Gachi here, and they're bringing the Sand King down, but to the captain of this division. You've got these 7 teams, all pretty spooky. How are you preparing? Are you watching Riyadh at the moment? Because obviously, if you're interested in Dota at all, let's go Slaughter Gang. That's the kind of plays we need to see to get you back into this game. Let's have a look at how much gold just swung towards Slaughter Gang there. Good God.
1,800 gold at least. Much analysis for that. That's just the net worth lead showing itself. The supports have like basically nothing on Dire. Meanwhile, Winching, he just gets in there and drops it too. Insanely hard to play most carry heroes into it. But the Gachi Ursa would be one of the few people who I would put stocks on. And I could really be liking the way this is turning out for Dire. They got the possible Tiny for the entire map, just building the net worth leads. I think Reverie sees the top lane, looks good. And Axe is waiting for him up there as well.
Johnny 200 gold in that game, but hey,
you might see the tiny band. There goes the monkey. That's also kind of expected. Giving first pick Monkey King, especially against
He needs to be careful here. He gets the stun out in return, but it looks like there is some dust on top of that big space cow. And in just a moment, we'll see a dunk on top of Huncho. RFA can't save him from that one.
The Dagon Caster Tower. That's massive. Yeah, that is absolutely massive for Radiant. That's like a 2k gold swing and a 2k experience swing. That's going to nullify a lot of the advantage that sort of
green. Wendy tried to help there, but
they're putting a lot of stock into this Invoker, and as it was their last pick of the draft, so it just shows like how much they value Huncho having a. I don't think there's going to be much.
Okay.
Not going to be much going on in bottom lane.
RFA is putting some pain on these two very thick heroes, though.
A bit sleepy because they kind of like imploded off the lanes, but game 2, oh my.
Spicy, absolutely spicy. Well, I'll tell you what, if I do end up casting the bear is on top of the Shadow Demon, but the bear is also underneath 2 towers, and there's a whole lot of armor there to keep those boys safe. Toss back, and out of position, straight to that Sand King. He's stunned under 2 towers, and he is eliminated. Hey, I've been wrong before.
I'd say he needs to get active around the 15-minute mark with his Shard. He needs to purchase Radiance and Shard on the dot at 15 if he wants to have any hope of winning this.
I mean, he is on Team Spirit, arguably one of the best teams in the entire world, so let's see if Huncho can replicate the big Lalal plays, dude. So, which team are you Lord on top of RFA's Rubik? Uh-oh!
I believe before all that happens, the Spirit Breaker actually just watered, and the entire fight happens on.
So, looks like they're thinking
Snap
about
by
it.
setup.
Oh, big toss combo, toss avalanche. He does get the
Yeah,
micro stun off, and he's real quick, and he's probably going to disappear into those trees. Now the team put out of position. Really puts Oz and China put some value on this this particular hero. How do you think it lines up with what we can see so far on the enemy team?
I quite like the troll pick. It's a good.
Then as well towards Dire. That's a lot of XP. That is a whole lot of XP.
Yeah. As well as Young Harold is playing, he is only.
Pros have begged this hero to be removed from the game because it is just so strong. And often in these comp scenes you don't see as much attention on it, but it gets a lot of attention in the pro scene. So they lock the IO, but they didn't deal with the bear. And there's that beautiful save from RFA, but it might not be enough to save the Venji. She's slipping out in the back. She's got to deal with the zombie. She doesn't deal with the zombies, and now she's dead.
We would have had a much closer mid game, but just having a Necro that's top net worth the entire game and still being down 2k just based off lanes is really rough. Could be big. If they get a kill on Hunchdog, it could be insane.
Oh, power shot comes out. Toss. Huge damage from that little shredder and the toss together, but he's got the invisibility. Do any of the supports bring any vision? No, they didn't. They have one job. And
George gets the Aginims. He's going to control all of the go-in from Radiant and just nullify the crap out of it. One of the oldest players.
Did you after last night, because I did shout it out on stream, have you signed my petition to have Hoodwink removed from the game? And everyone out there in Twitch chat, I do have the petition up, so please go and get that hero. And I feel like we see more of these. Monkey goes, good to see Monkey. It looks like Slaughter Gang are focusing some real meta heroes rather than target banning, at least from what I can understand.
Young Harold just farming up, doing what he's supposed to do. Doesn't matter if he gets like he's not pressured to do anything early, right? He's just got to take his time, farm it up.
What's this tri-lane bottom?
No way.
Whiffed it a bit there, boys. What's the old?
Unfortunate. That they just didn't catch anything else. That's insane.
Here's a question. You're talking about finding an answer for the Morphling as a core, but I've seen Undying played as a 3, and I've seen Spirit Breaker played as a 3.
They're my competitors, of course, and I think it's going to be a really hype series.
That is exciting, and that's what I want to hear. I love when their game is competitive. Competitive gaming is what I'm all about.